over USAID funding to India allegedly for voter turnout. This has kicked up a political storm with the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party taking turns to, in fact, blame each other over the beneficiaries. Congress has called it another jumla to mislead and misguide the nation, while BJP has snapped and said that the Congress is colluding with foreign forces to conspire against India. The fresh bickering has broke out this morning with Congress spokesperson Jairam Ramesh sharing Finance Ministry's annual report from the year 2023 to 24, and he stated that the contentious USAID scheme was engaged in 7 projects and this was being done in collaboration with the government. To this, BJP IT cell chief Amit Malviya was quick to hit back, and he ended up calling it a desperation on part of the Congress party and its ecosystem to deflect from the controversial USAID funding row. Let me take this across to my colleague Pallavi. Pallavi, what is happening on this USAID story, considering there have been various versions that have come from the President of the United States, Mr. Trump, where he, again, in this latest statement that he made on a public forum, he spoke about how that funding for voter turnout in India allegedly went to his friend Modi, within quotes.
Well, basically, the latest controversy is over these figures which have been put out by the Congress party, and thereby pointing a finger at the government that your lies regarding the USAID, and where you are accusing us or a particular ecosystem of getting benefits from USAID to try and destabilize the country. That lie has been nailed, according to the Congress party. And what are they referring to? They are referring to the ADB or the annual reports which comes out from the Finance Ministry at the end of the financial year. And this specific one which Jairam Ramesh has referred to in his social media post on X talks about a sector by sector dispersal of aids coming in from USAID. Well, the counter which is then coming in not just from Amit Malviya but also from the Finance Ministry to us is that, first of all, these are annual figures, these are transparent aids which are given. There's a difference between the USAID allegedly given to some NGOs and some influencers under a garb of aid, but actually it was being used to run an anti-national narrative. This aid that which is being cited by the Congress party is actually, which is very natural, it's transparent. Finance Ministry in its report keeps out giving sector by sector, and if you look at this particular report, it does talk about, for example, to the health sector and other sectors as well. That's one point. Second is, what the Finance Ministry is telling me is that the report is 23-24, but it actually refers to a dispersal of those aids which came in earlier in 2010 to 11, which essentially is the UPA era. So if anyone needs to be questioned, and if you really want to make this an issue, then the UPA and the Congress party should also look at the mirror and also understand and also answer why is it that they agree to a dispersal of these legitimate aids which are given out by USAID.
Right, Pallavi, and there was also a statement by the Ministry of External Affairs, while this political bickering is happening, that they are still looking at what really is the scenario, what is this 21 million all about. So what is happening to the investigation really on the accusations that have come in from the US and something that is being followed up by the government in India?
So as we have already been reporting earlier that the investigation process, the first step has already been taken, and in this case it's going to be a consolidated investigation. There are many ministries which are involved, of course the MHA, the Finance Ministry, ED at the later stage will all be involved. For now, what has happened is there's an exchange of lists or documents between the American administration and the Indian administration. It was all triggered off by the US aid being cancelled by Elon Musk's Doge by 21 billion. And of course, there has been much flip-flop, there much tutu meme with the Congress saying that, look, this aid was meant for Bangladesh. The BJP clarifying that this was actually in future tense aid and it was preempted by cancellation. So that's as far as investigation goes. And I think Jairam S Jaishankar as well as the ministers have already made it very clear. Ravi Shankar Prasad too at a press conference said that there will be an investigation because these are alarming revelations and we cannot take it lightly.
Right. Pallavi, do stay on with us. We have RP Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party now joining us on the podcast. Mr. Singh, there's a claim that's being made by the Congress party. Mr. Ramesh has put forth the Finance Ministry report, the ADB of 2023-24, and he is talking about how there are USAID schemes that have been engaged in 7 projects, all in collaboration with the Indian government under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and that is how they are planning on countering the narrative that has been built by the Bharatiya Janata Party, in turn by US President Donald Trump. What has been the BJP's response on this, sir?
Well, Mr. Jairam Ramesh is trying to jump the gun. He knows that once the investigation happens, they'll be in trouble. That's why he's trying to be offensive on the subject. Let them wait for the investigation. Government already said so, that they will hold investigation to complete matter, and let people know what's the truth. And as for us, the truth is that there are foreign corporations. We still remember Cambridge Analytica, and then we still know that Mr. Rahul Gandhi, when he was abroad, he seeked the help of the foreign countries to save democracy here. And then we all know that how do the foreign country operate, how do the foreign deep state operate when they have to help certain parties or certain political outfit. We have seen it happening in Bangladesh also. So we just need to investigate this, and I'm hopeful the government of India will thoroughly investigate and let the truth come out.
Okay, all right. Mr. Singh, thank you so much for joining us and sharing in your views on this matter there. We also have a response there by the Minister of External Affairs, Mr. S Jaishankar, on what this entire row is all about, and how is India taking the investigation forward.
By the Trump administration people. Obviously that is concerning. It would suggest that, there are activities which has a certain objective out here to push a narrative or a viewpoint. I think as a government we are looking into it because, such organizations have an obligation to report. And my sense is, the facts will come out. USAID was allowed, has been here historically. But USAID was allowed here in good faith, to do good faith activities. Now suggestions are being made out of America that there are activities which are in bad faith. So it surely warrants a look.
With that, we go into a very short break. News and updates continue on the broadcast.